Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at Gpro, Aapl, Bidu, Twlo, Chtr, and Baba. We're going to look at the daily, weekly, monthly time frames, and we use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's get right into Gpro on the daily chart, and if it will pull up here, there you go. So we talked about this level as this thing was breaking down. We're a slightly bearish pattern, but we talked about there's going to be some great support. If you go to my videos, we're talking that if it falls into this area, which we have a good chance to around the $13 area, that it could possibly bounce. We do have great support here. The problem is, if the markets continue to dump, this thing will go lower. Next gap fill is around 1155. We talked about this area. Let's go to the weekly. We also have some weekly support around the 20 MA, which is roughly around 1174. So if you look at 1174 and then this area here around 1155, we probably have gap window here around 1176. So if this starts to dump, we have again some good support down in here too. If the markets do not bounce, you cannot take this trade yet. It might stall out, but if the markets keep dumping, we are probably heading for the $10 level, or this around this pivot here around 10, well, around 11 bucks. But if we start dumping, man, this thing's just going to tank. It was an inside bar bearish pattern, another bearish pattern, then we're starting to break down. If this support here doesn't hold, this one I probably won't, and I wouldn't doubt if we go right back down to 10, 11, then 10.50, then 10. But be careful in these guys. This buy the dip conditioning crap, it's catching everybody. I mean, look at this. This was a big inside bar until we closed above the 1668, which it tried to a couple weeks back. We're breaking down again. As long as it stays below this 50 MA, if it gets below the 20 MA, someone's going to be in trouble. Monthly chart too. Down sideways. We're in a big bearish pattern in an inside bar bearish pattern. You know what? Unless they get some news or something, it's going right back to the all-time lows, 862. Eventually, the markets start to sell, it will definitely go to 10, and then you got to reevaluate this one. Just don't start loading the boat, because as the markets go up and everything bounces, it's easy to trade. You just buy the dip, but all of a sudden it doesn't work, and then you get smashed. Please, guys, take the correct share size and protect yourself in markets like this. You know, did anyone think it was going to sell on Friday? You know what? Honestly, I thought it could. With this light volume crap for the last 2 months, it was coming. It was just a matter of when, not a matter of if, and boom, we're starting. But Fed backstop could just push it right back up in our face, and then we're sitting there for another 2 months sideways. But anything can happen. But I love days like yesterday or on Friday, because we were short. That's all I can say. All right, Aapl. Let's look at Aapl. And the same thing. It's going to go with everything. If the markets continue to sell, it's all going down. It's very simple. Wow, 103. I didn't even look at Aapl yet. So this one goes up. We have a Fibonacci level. Let's look at the daily chart. So right now we're in the gap window. We're at the 382 retrace, and we're below the 20 and the 50. The 20 starting to curl down. I'm telling you, this is looking like we're going to get one more day. And tomorrow, if it isn't Monday, we might get a pause day. But if it isn't Monday, then I'm looking at Tuesday, Wednesday for this thing to really start getting just killed. And if the markets start to dump, boom. Usually on 2 bars, you get one more bar down. We do have some support around 100, around 103, which we're right into today. And ultimately, we have a gap down here around 96. Man, you know, they got everybody on board after earnings again. Boom, nice retrace, and now they're dumping. Weekly, same thing. I mean, this was ugly. We talked about this trend line, getting above it. It was doing okay. As long as we stayed above this trend line, I was like, all right, you know, we could possibly move up. Now we got this. Now we have a big inside bar. Now we'll probably retrace if it does go up, and then we'll dump out the next time. If this continues down next week, man, you know, maybe 98.27, maybe this trend line coming up in here, you're going to have some pretty good support, 96, 97. But I got to see it. Tomorrow's action is going to be really important for me technically. This too, inside bar, we've talked about this until it gets above this and the 20 MA and this inside bar, and even this 750 retrace up in here. Until it gets above that area, you know, 112 to 114, nah, it's not going to happen. And plus, it was going up on no volume, and now it's just slowly disappearing. Got to have more volume to push these markets up. Again, it's a market trade. Markets dump, this thing's going down. I mean, you're looking at 95 bucks probably. And if the markets dump next week, it's going to 95. And it could even touch these double bottoms at 90 bucks. Be careful, longs. I've been telling you that for a little while. You're going to wake up one day and it's going to be like, boom, and you won't know what to do. Bidu, this was another one out of the blue. It just was marching, 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 marching. Come on. Come on. Oh, this was great. We wrote some calls right up here. I mean, after 3 days up into this huge trend line that it just can't get above, as a technical trader, you got a short. Then the 750 retrace up in here. Then you have the even number of 190. Then you have this little topping tail. You're going long on this on a topping tail here, and then we close below this trend line, and then we have follow through. We're right back down in here. So 2 days of massive upside in Bidu, wiped out in 2 days. So that was epic. I'm thinking market's dump. We're going to fill the gap. And then if we get below these MAs, here we come 50 MA right around 168.69. And then if the market's really down, we're going right back to double bottom here. I mean, this was just a head fake. With the markets floating, doing nothing, they got this one up, got everyone on board. Now you got a bunch of bag holders up here again. It's over and over and over. When they popped this out, I was just like, yes, keep going. We actually added shorts around 176 right up in here. And then on this gap up here, we added our last short position. And right now, we're actually in the money. So, and that's how you got to do it. You got to add, add, add. You got to know your position size, strict money management. And if you're going to take like 1,000 shares of Bidu, you take 250, 250, and then you take the 500 up here, another 250, and another 250 up here. So at every point of resistance, you're adding more to your full position. Then you know you're a stop out too. But Bidu, that thing was a beast for a couple days. This one is epic though. Look at this. We talked about this breakdown bar. Came in, inside bar. Gosh, look at that. Right above here. We added up here. Almost, I would have loved to see the gap filled. Almost did it. Right back in. Little tail up here. I think we're heading back down. Market's dump. We're going right back down. And we could actually go back down to 160 or so. But we'll see. We'll see how this thing reacts. See how it comes in, or it might pop up. If you're a bull, you need to get above this trend line again. If you're bear, you need to get below this area and below the 20, and then I think we could fill this gap down in here, or right here, and then we could go right back to the 160 area. Monthly gray. I mean, we had great resistance up here. I mean, they're even below the 20 MA here. As a monthly chart, if you're bearish, you want to see it stay below the 20. If you're bullish on this one, you want to get a close above this trend line, period. That's Bidu. But again, I'm going to say it again, guys. The markets sell the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the Dow, the IYT, all those. This thing's going, everything's going lower. Twilio. I don't like these trades as an IPO, but I love the retrace on it. I mean, look at this. We come back in, we chop around it's a macro bear, but a micro bull. The bullish pattern starts playing out. We pop right into the 618. The top of this breakdown bar never makes it. Great reversal. We are short in this thing. I think right around 60 bucks. I don't have the entry. I don't have the entry. We're down. It's actually on Twitter, but it's down here. Comes back in, consolidates. We're staying above the 20. If this thing closes below, we're definitely going to 53.78. Then we're coming right back into this trend line around 50 bucks. We already covered half, and we're going to try to ride the second half for another couple bucks and get the hell out. Weekly, there's just not enough technicals. It's a new issue, so I mean, it's chopping around, trying to make headways. You know, but CNBC will get above this. The monthly that isn't telling me anything really. Actually, you know what? The monthly, I could put a fib in here. Let's see if it's come back into like the 382 spot 250. Yeah, so 250 it's holding. Yeah, you're looking at 50 bucks if this thing comes back in, and then we'll see how the pattern is. But again, it's an IPO. I mean, every IPO has just gone straight up and then straight down. So be careful with these as well. Let's look at Charter. Charter was a high flyer. They had news and news and news. Wow, look at that. And boom, right in your face. And this wasn't a bad pattern, though. They tried breaking it out, came back in. We had a little inside bar bearish pattern, but overall it's a macro bull. They broke it out. I think there are changes in exchanges or whatever. Boom, 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 right to the 280 area. And then boom, reversal candle here. And now actually we closed below the 264.53. Interesting. So on this one, I think we're going right back down to 260. That breaks. We're just going to start stair-stepping down with the markets. I think ultimately the 50 MA around 246. If it really starts to go and the markets start to go, you're looking at this right here around 235, 236 in that area. You're going to have some good support. But if everything really starts rumbling, we're going back to the 200 MA, which is right around 208.19. Weekly chart, nice reversal. We did engulf. I would have loved to have seen a full engulfing candle, but not bad. But now what we're looking for is down, sideways, and then another leg down. If you're bullish, you need to get above this inside bar right around the 272, 273 area. Actually, you need to close above this green bar, which is about 272, 75, right in that area, to become bullish again. And then we ultimately need to capture the highs. If not, if we see more follow through, we're definitely going down to the 235 area, where this where it broke up, came back, came up, and then boom, we're going to go right back down. Monthly chart. Monthly chart, I've been talking about this. We've been extended. Now we have a little bit of a topping tail. My max move was around 276.04. Came right into it, reversed. Now we got to see if we could close below the high of this candle right around the 261 area on a monthly close, so we still have a little bit of time on this one. But again, market stump, this one's coming in. Baba, everyone's favorite. Everyone's chasing it. Oh my gosh, it's Baba. This thing's going to 300. So we had a great up move. I mean, this thing terrorized. I had great resistance here, and I told everybody, if this thing breaks out of here, then we could definitely move up into the $100.99 area, which it did. Came back, retraced, and then started marching again. And right here, this was the move where I was like, holy cow, this is it. This is the end of the road. I think we have, what are these up here? There's a gap fill up here. There's a little pivot around 105. Never made it, but I believe it filled the gap around 104.05. Let's see. Yeah, 10. Yeah, look at that. Filled the gap, and that was it. Went past this window. We filled the gap on the downside on Friday. Markets start to dump. We are definitely going lower on this one. Let's see. Let's stick a fib in there. Let's do a fib from here. Let's see where we're stopped. So 382. I'm thinking 96.28, then I think 92.98. We get back to the 91.31 or the gap fill at 91.82. We'll see how this thing responds. And ultimately, I think we're going to go right back into 87.37 or this huge area that was once resistance, but now it will be support again. So we could definitely come into here, bounce here. We'll wait for a retrace and possibly to short it again. But this one's starting to look like it's getting a little bit weak. Let's see here. Did they close it? Gosh, nope, they closed it below it. All right, so on a weekly basis, as if you're bullish, you wanted to see it close above this candle, and it did not. So right now, technically, it's still bullish, but it's a little bit stretched. Now it would be a little suspect to this one. It's a little bit of a topping tail. Nothing crazy. I'd like to see it longer, a little bit of a smaller head here, but it's still a topping tail, and you still have to respect that. So now we're looking follow through next week, and if we start getting to follow through, I think we're going to go right back into this area again. So everything again is a market trade. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it is. So, and this was a nice pullback. Monthly chart. Monthly chart, let's see where this thing closes. Needs to close above the 98.83. $100 even number will be a big area too. So let's see if we can stay above the $100 area, or does this thing start to continue down? 96.11 is the 382 coming in. So let's see if we can at least hold that, or the 100 number, or the 98.83 high of this candle. If it closes below that, then you got to wait for a pattern or an inside bar, and then we could possibly get some more downside. Markets dump. This one's dumping too. All right, guys, it's Sunday. I'm going to go home and watch some football, and hopefully you're watching these videos, and hopefully I'm teaching you something too. And my name is John. It's StockBookie.com. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.